they've been trying to work on the process and get it aligned. We are seeing a decrease, but we still have many referrals that are taking place on the bus. All right. Maintenance department. I always like you to know what's happening in the district. We have a Southeastern Rural Community Assistance Project where we're going to get new water fountains in our building. That's a great thing. And then we're going to get some air purifiers that are going to finish some work that they need to do. And we have to replace 2 of the air conditioning units on top of our gym. And then we are still looking for custodians and maintenance workers. You heard me say a few minutes ago that we have a teacher of excellence. Incentivizing our teachers where they can earn up to a certain amount of money. It's a great thing. It's sponsored by the State Department and maybe some outside people that are helping also as well. But it's a great incentivizing type of program where our teachers are able to work hard, harder than they're working, hard, to make sure that our children are meeting their growth. And if they do that, they will be able to receive some additional compensation for the work. Teachers need to be recognized for their work. I think about it like this. Teachers are probably some of the lowest paid people in a profession that trains the highest paid people. They train the doctors, the lawyers, the mayors, the presidents. They train all of those, they teach all of those people. So why not pay teachers where they deserve to be paid? That deserves a hand clap because teachers need to be paid well. So this pilot is for Williamsburg and Allendale County. And hopefully we're going to be giving out some really big checks. All right, everybody has been asking, where's the calendar? Where's the calendar? So I have 2 options that will be presented to you tonight. You can see a little bit. Tried to make them as big as I possibly could. Now, I guess you're probably saying, well, Dr. Cave did not have us any paper copies. No, I didn't, because I didn't want it to be everywhere where we hadn't made a decision. So tomorrow or either the next day, you're going to get a link through ThrillShare. And you'll have the option to vote on one of the calendars. Okay? You know we did modified this year. So I'll tell you my belief. Modified works. It allows for teachers to have a break. It allows for your child to have a break. It allows for us to be able to get them caught up on some work. And it lowers the rate of retention for children. So that's one of the reasons we're still going to go with a modified calendar. So go ahead and take a deep breath, because that's what we're going to do. It's the best thing for children. The calendar is not for adults. It's for the children first. But in the long run, the adults are going to feel comfortable with it too, because they get a break. So let's look at what they look like. And I think I put them in your folder so you will have them up close. So we'll start school a little early. Okay? First day for students is August 1st. Okay? And we'll have breaks along the way. These 3 days right here are all intercession days. So this year we had 2 intercessions. This year we're going to have 3. Okay? So the students can come in and get the work missed or get some additional help, so that they don't go into the next 9 weeks without passing the course or without getting all their assignments done. Then we'll have a full week in November. I heard my teachers cry. They wanted a full week break, so I gave them a full week break. Then we have December. We'll be out. I heard some people say that was a long, long time, so we made a little adjustment there. But in February, we give another little break. We give another little break in February. We still have 2 weeks out. You got 2 weeks out for January. I heard the rumble, and it's okay. You got a week here for Christmas, and you got another week, so you got your 2 weeks. Okay? Got 2 weeks. Let's take that from me. But we get a little break right here for 3 days intercession. So all of this, if your child is performing up to speed, they'll be out that week. If they're not, they're going to come in for 3 days, and then they'll be out the next 2 days. Right? Then in April, we have our spring break, and then on through the end. Okay? Option 2 is very similar, except for we don't have that big February break. We have some other intercession. We only have 2 days of intercession. It's a little bit different. So this is option 1 and option 2. Okay? Both with a little modified. You have your opportunity to vote on them, and then I will present the data. I'll show you what the vote was. Okay? And we'll go to select the calendar based on your vote and staff. Okay? Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
What's the last day of the school year?
The last day of the school year here is a teacher work day. 3 early dismissal will be June 3rd. Okay? And over here, looks like May 29th. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. We'll move on. All right. So remember I told you we're doing a lot of additions and we're making some changes. There was some money provided to the school district by Savannah River Plan. I'm sorry. I always get it mixed up. Side on plan. One of those Savannah River site provided us the additional funds. Okay? So with those funds, we're going to do some renovations. So currently, this is what the school looks like. Middle, high, and then that's the CTE wing, which we're on right now. So we're adding a performing arts center. That's not the only thing we're adding, but we're adding a performing arts center. That's going to benefit the school, and who else is going to benefit? The community. It will benefit the community as well. It's going to seat about 450 people. It's going to be very nice. So this is our existing plan. That's the middle school. Everybody aware? This is going to be the Performing Arts Center on the back. The entranceway will be facing where the sheriff's office is. All right? So this is the conceptual design here, so you can see how it looks. Up a little bit closer. And then we're also doing some work to the student commons area. Oh, yeah, I missed this, sorry. So I wanted you to see what the Performing Arts Center looks like. It's going to be a beautiful structure. It's going to have restrooms. It'll have, this is the entrance to the lobby, more restrooms. We're going to have a courtyard here. This is the existing music room. How many children go to music down in the band room? Okay. So when you walk out the back, you'll be able to walk into the Performing Arts Center. It has 450 seats there. It'll have storage, and then it'll have a stage. A beautiful structure for the school as well as our community. Now, we need to upgrade some other parts of the building. So this is it, administration, how it looks now. That's the commons area, the gym, cafeteria, main entrance. We need to change it. Number one, because there's some safety features there that need to be upgraded, and we need to upgrade it just because it's gotten a little old and antiquated out there. So we brought a group of students in, and they designed the commons area. And we brought the adults in, and they designed the conceptual floor plan for the way it's going to look. So we're changing that whole entranceway here. Here's the vestibule. That's where you walk in now, the high school. There will be a waiting room, and then there will be the receptionist. So right now, there's no waiting room. So we're going to remedy that a little bit, okay? And then we're going to change some of the office areas there so that everyone is able to have a space as well as it's more accommodating for everyone. Okay? So we're going to change the look of how that looks. This is the part that I'm most excited about, the pack and this part, because the children designed this. Do I have any of the scholars in here that helped design this? Might not be here tonight, okay. So this is how it looks now, and that's what it looks like now, okay. So that's the conceptual view. We're going to have high boy chairs here because it's made for the students, and then we'll have seating in the inside. They call that what they call the pit. So down in the pit, they love to hang out there. They're going to have seats down in the pit, and they're going to really be able to enjoy it because it's going to be a place. I'm thinking about putting a game board here on the floor so that it'll be a game board for them to enjoy as well. Okay? So this is how it looks. Then on the outside of it, there's going to be flexible seating for them. Right now they sit on the floor or in the pit in those places. So we're going to do flexible seating. And then you'll also see some additional seating here. So they designed it. It's all their plan. And it exists for children. So that's why it looks like it looks, because it's for them. All right? So that's where we are. Any questions about where we're headed? Okay. I'm going to take my seat now. And we have our financial audit. I want to be very transparent as to where we are with our finances. And Ms. Grant, our Director of Finance, is going to introduce our auditor. And that will be next, and then after she finishes, Mr. Carter is going to come up with our special ed presentation. Okay, so get Mr. Carter's to have it. I'll be there right now.
Good evening, everyone. I think last board meeting, there was a little bit mixed up on our dates, but tonight we have our financial auditor. Her name is Miss Elizabeth Inhabitant, and she's with McGregor Company out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. And so what she's going to do is come and go over our 2022-23 school year audit. And so I think I've already talked about it, but we wanted to get a presentation directly from our auditor. So I'll let her come up and say what she needs to say, and then I'll be up later to do the financial report.
Thank you. Good evening. It's good to be here tonight, and I do apologize. In January, I was planning to be here on the 23rd and found out that day that you had been here the night before. So I'm glad tonight worked out, and I just wanted to briefly go over a few pages. I think you have the green financial statement book. So I'll reference some pages and kind of go over some of the numbers there and then try to answer any questions that you may have. The district financial statements and some related documents are required each year to be uploaded to the Department of Education by December 1st, and we met that deadline this year and have for the last 5 or 6 at least. Our audit report is on pages 1 through 3, and this report notes that we're required to be independent and meet other ethical responsibilities related to the audit. Our opinion is in the first section. We issued a clean opinion on all governmental activities in each major fund of the district. There were no qualifications to that opinion. In performing the audit, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism. We identify and assess risks of material misstatement of the financial statements, and then design and perform audit procedures to respond to those risks. We obtain an understanding of internal controls, but do not express an opinion on their effectiveness. We evaluate accounting policies and estimates made by management and evaluate whether there is substantial doubt about the district's ability to continue as a going concern. So once you move past our report, the next section is the management's discussion and analysis, and that is on pages 4 through 11. And this section provides a narrative on the district's finances for the year. It includes financial highlights, an overview of what's reported in each of the statements, an analysis of the district's funds, and any significant debt or capital asset transactions during the year. And this is also the only place in the financial statements where there is comparative information that you can compare the current year to the prior year. The government-wide statements are on pages 12 and 13. This is where you find statements that are presented in a manner that's similar to what is reported by a private business, where all the assets and liabilities of the district are reflected The statement of net assets shows that the district had a negative net position at June 30, 2023 of $7.6 million compared to a negative net position of $11.9 million in the prior year. This you typically will see in governmental entities, school districts, and it's because the district's required to recognize a proportionate share of the state's unfunded retiree health insurance and retirement obligations. Without these two items, which government auditing standards require, the district would have shown a positive net position of $24.7 million. So really the impact of these unfunded liabilities on the district will be in the form of increased employer contributions to the retirement system and the South Carolina Retiree Health Insurance Fund for the foreseeable future. There are two new government auditing standards that were required to be implemented over the last 2 years, where the district would be required to capitalize certain leases and subscription-based information technology agreements. And we have evaluated those leases and IT agreements with school officials and determined that none of the district's agreements rose to the level of requiring capitalization, either because they don't meet the criteria or because capitalizing them would not be material to the financial statements. On page 16, this is the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance. And this is reported in the manner that the district keeps its internal records. And you'll see a column for each of the major funds of the district. The first column is the general fund. The general fund showed an increase in fund balance for the year of $2,280,000. The fund balance was $13.3 million, which, as you can see, is actually more than the district's general fund expenditures for the year. So a fund balance of approximately 20% would be considered a healthy fund balance. You are way above that. For historical reference, I look back, the general fund balance at June 30, 2019 was $6 million. So here, 5 years later, it's going to $13.3 million. The fund balance in special projects is $292,000. That includes $195,000 of pupil activity funds and about $95,000 for Medicaid. Food service has a fund balance of $405,000, which is approximately 36% of its annual expenditures for the year. Debt service is in strong shape with a fund balance of $1.6 million. The district did not incur any new debt and paid principal on its outstanding debt of $1,172,000 during the fiscal year. And finally, the district had $1.9 million in capital projects fund balance at year end. The budget to actual for the general fund you'll find on page 53. Revenues in total came in at $191,000 over budget, and expenditures were approximately $1 million under budget. And that resulted in the district adding that $2.2 million to fund balance for the year. The district's federal awards are on pages 81 and 82. And the district expended $6.7 million in federal funds last year. And we're required to look at various criteria in determining some of the size of the program or potential risk, and we have to evaluate and select certain federal programs for testing of internal controls over compliance and also for compliance with applicable grantor requirements. And for this past year, we tested the Child Nutrition Cluster, Title I, and the ESSER programs, and those totaled $5.7 million that was tested of the $6.7 million expended. And we did not note any findings that were required to be reported in the financial statements. And that's really all I had, but I did want to take this opportunity to express our appreciation for Angela Grant and her team in the finance office. They are all dedicated professionals and work very hard to make sure the district's finances are correct. They're always quick to assist us by providing information and answering questions during the audit process, which makes it a very smooth process for us. And the district is blessed to have this group of ladies. I'll be glad to try to answer any questions that you might have at this time. I know it's a lot of numbers to have thrown at you. Okay. And if anything comes up later, I'm always available and I'm glad to answer any questions if you come up with any later. Okay? Thank you.
I'd like to commend our finance department under the leadership of Ms. Grant. So, Ms. Grant, would you please stand, please? And let's give her a hand. I don't know if any persons in her department are here tonight, but it's Ms. Wiggins, Ms. Wade, and Ms. Jackson. So I really appreciate the work that those ladies do in that department. Okay, when you're messing with people's money, it's always going to be very concerning, and they do a great job. All right, Mr. Carter, are you ready? So we'll have Mr. James Carter, our Director of Special Services, and he is going to come up and talk a little bit about our services that we provide to some specially identified children.
Good afternoon, students, parents, and board members. Now, if you think you're warm, you can imagine what it's like in this bow tie. Now, Dr. Cave indicated special education, but actually it's special services, and it includes a couple of components under there. So, what is special services? You're looking at special education, health services, medical home down, mental health services, and 504. Let's start with special education. We serve about 88 students. That's approximately 10% of the student population. Right now, we're preparing to change from our enriched system, which is the IEP system, to a new system called EdPlan. We had the initial training February 23rd, and we'll continue with that process. We're working on the MTSS process. Now that's maybe a strange term for you, but you understand the interventions, where we're working with interventions with the schools. And that's to prevent students from entering special education. Our goal is to limit the number of students who are in special education. And so we're working with that endeavor. We also work with the Allendale Head Start because we serve from 3 to 21, from age 3 to 21. So we work with learning centers and of course the Allendale Head Start. And we just completed our Medicaid audit. Health services, let's talk a little bit about that. At the elementary school, between October and January, we saw about 219 students. At the middle school, we saw 78, and at the high school, 71. So as you can see, the elementary school is very busy when it comes to health services. And you see the medical administration and the injury report. Of course, at the elementary school, you're going to have injuries. So you see the 37, 12 at the middle school, and 0 at the high school. At the school level, from the health services, we installed CPR devices and AED devices. And we had the training, so staff members are fully trained in that particular area. Mental health counseling, We do have a mental health counselor on site. We have about 36 clients. The maximum caseload there is 60. All right. Also for mental health. Now, unfortunately, we have students who sometimes indicate that they're going to injure themselves. And so we track that data. At the high school, you can see 38%, and at the middle school, 62%. So during that middle school age, we have more reported self-injury conduct. We also track when it's occurring. We only had probably about 6. We had a spike in December, but normally we run probably about 1 a month. And that's my report. Any questions? I've said a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Carter.
Good afternoon. Now we are down to the mid-year data review by Dr. Cave and Ms. Paxson.
Good evening, everyone. I don't want to be before you long, but we need to share this information with you because it concerns the growth of our scholars. What we like to do is track how they're progressing from year to year. We also like to track how they're doing throughout the year. So what we're going to look at tonight are 2 formative assessments that we use throughout the year to ensure how, kind of do like a predictability of how they're going to perform on the end of the year test, which for 3rd through 8th grade is SC Ready. And for high school, it's called EOCEP. And they take the Algebra 1, English 2, Biology 1, and U.S. History at the high school level. So what we like to do is just do assessments to be able to say, well, if the students took the test right now, how would they perform? Would they pass? Who still needs support? And that's how we inform our instruction. So I'm going to start by going over what we call the Mastery Review Predictive Assessment. I had a brain freeze. Data review. What you see up here is, like I said, we test SC Ready, but we test ELA and writing. We call it the TDA, and we also test math for 3rd through 8th, and we test science for grades 4 through 6. And these are the courses that we test for high school, like I mentioned earlier. Now, when we look at our elementary scholars, we only test grades 3 through 5th at the elementary level because, like I said, they're the grade levels that take the SC Ready. So what we did was we looked at the data from last year's spring and we compared it to winter 2024. So the orange represents last year's spring. That's how they ended the year last year. And the red represents how they assessed and how they scored for the last assessment that we took back in January. All right, so as you can see, we see some growth from year to year. In reading, overall, we were at 27.3% last year, but winter, when we took it in January, we were at 28.8%. And what that simply means is that we know if we took that test today, about 30% of our scholars would actually meet or exceed expectation because these scores represent all the scholars that scored C or better. Now, don't get me wrong, we had a number of scholars that had D's, but we don't do D's, right, Dr. K? No, we don't do D's. So we know technically a D is passing. The kids say, Ms. Patterson, I got a D, I passed. I'm like, well, we want to strive for a C or better. So honestly, we could have added the D's and it would have been much higher, but we want to look at it at the lens of a C or better. If you look at the math, it's much higher. Last year, the end of the year, they were at 36.8, but it's only at 36.5. We've been struggling in math a bit, and we've been having conversations around how we can address some of those issues. That's 3rd grade. 4th grade, you can see that they take 3 tests. They take the reading, math, and the science. In the reading, they're doing way better this year. They're at 35.2%. As you can see, math, we're still having some issues in math. And in science, there's something going on with the 4th grade science. So these are the kind of conversations that the teachers are having in their meetings, in their planning meetings. They're trying to come up with different strategies on how to address the data and how it looks. 5th grade, doing way better than last year, 43.4. That's almost half. If our scholars were to take the test today, in 5th grade, almost half of them will be passing. So that deserves a clap. Now we know we want more, but that is definitely progress compared to last year. Look at last year, it was 24. So they almost jumped half, 50% higher this year. So we keep in that direction. By the end of the year, we hope the numbers are way higher. And we know once again, we have some work to do in math. Moving on to middle school. This is our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade data. Our 6th grade students take science. So you'll see 3 categories. In reading, they're doing extremely better than they did last year. They're at 37.3%. Once again, math is still our struggle area. And in science, they're kind of level. It's kind of like the same. They're kind of stagnant at the 21.3% because they were at 21 last year. 7th grade, reading is spiked. But keep in mind what Dr. Cave presented earlier. She stated that we need some teachers. We have virtual teachers, and they're doing amazing, but it's nothing like a face-to-face. So you'll notice that the data is reflecting some of the challenges that we're having in the classroom. Not having a warm body in the classroom and somebody actually giving that instruction at a high level, effective level. So we're seeing that in our data when it comes to our 7th and 8th grade. This is our high school. Like I said, we look at our courses, English 2, Algebra 1, Biology, and U.S. History. We've historically been doing pretty well in English 2, and we're maintaining that. They're doing a little bit better this year. Algebra 1, Dr. Miller, maybe you can talk a little bit about that later, Dr. Cave. We're doing a collaborative this year where we've teamed up with our 9th graders, and we're doing a mentorship program where each administrator has been assigned a student, and we track them, and we check on them. And we ask them, like, what's going on? Show me your grades. How's it going? And we've noticed a high increase in their scores because we've been checking on them, giving them incentives, and motivating them to do better. Biology, we're at 16% versus 14% last year. And U.S. history really jumped up high. We were really, really low last year at 7% at the end of the year. But now we're at 28%. We have some ways to go, but this lets us know what we need to do next. So Dr. Cave is going to come before us now and talk a little bit about the iReady data. Oh, before she comes, I'm sorry, Dr. Cave. As she's coming to the front, I wanted to talk a little bit about this chart, and this is the last chart. What we wanted to do is look at our students along the way. So if the left column is basically what grade they were in last year, and the column in the middle is what grade they're in now. So it kind of shows us how they're progressing as they move along from grade to grade. Sometimes it's easy to look at the 3rd graders. The 3rd graders did this last year and this year. But how did that student do in the next grade? And that's what this chart shows. Our 3rd graders last year, they ended the year at 27.3. But right now, they're at 35.2. Those same scholars as 4th graders. In math, they ended the year at 36.8, but now they're at 25.4. But you kind of see the same story that I've been saying the whole time. That math is something we really got to tackle. 4th grade, they ended at 27.3. Now they're at 43.4. So those scholars are now 5th graders, and they're performing at 43.4. Math, 26.6. Now they're at 24.2. Our 5th graders, last year they were at 24.6. Now they're at 37.3. We saw some growth there from grade level to grade level. Our 5th graders in math, they were at 16.4, now they're at 15.6. So we're still having that same situation and trend. 6th grade, they started at 24.3, they ended at 24.3 last year, and now they're at 34.8. So we see some growth. And I'm not going to read everything to you, but as you go along, further down, you'll see how they've been moving from grade to grade. And that's what we want the parents to see. Like, how are your children performing year to year, grade to grade? Thank you.
So there are several tests, several assessments that our students take. iReady is one of the assessments that is funded a major portion by the State Department, and then we fund a portion of it ourselves. So our students take iReady. What I like about iReady is that iReady has on grade level content as well as it has intervention, off grade level content. So our children get to do two things. They get to work on their standards that they are to test on. And then they also get to work on their personalized learning path, which allows them to be able to fill in the gaps. Because we cannot get the district out of the difficulty we find ourselves in if we don't close the gap of where our children are deficient in. So you see that we're struggling in mathematics. We're not the only district struggling in mathematics. It's a nationwide problem, you know, and a statewide problem. But we are working on it on a daily basis, I promise you. So let's look at where iReady. iReady is more aligned as a predictor for how we're going to do on our state assessment. So I'm really proud of what the results look like. So right now, our children make growth. I'm going to recognize a lot of students today for their growth. So if we made no additional growth, none, if we stayed where we are right now, we would have, this is what it would look like. Almost every bar has made an increase. Okay? That's if we had no more growth. Everybody stayed where they were. We have 39% of our children scoring in third grade, 27, 37, and 32 in mathematics here, and sixth grade would be 46, and seventh and eighth. Now, eighth grade is where we're struggling a bit because it made a decrease, it made a decline. All right. So let's look at reading. If we had no more growth, stayed where we were, this is where our children would be performing on the state assessment. This is everybody who has made a C or better. Okay? Remember, we get points for the D's, but we're not striving for D's. We're striving for A's, B's, and C's. Okay? So this is where no more growth. Tonight, I'm recognizing children for stretch growth. Okay? So a lot of people in this room are meeting their growth targets. So this is typical growth. That's just if we go along and we make little increments of growth along the way. So if we made typical growth, this is where we would be. Notice we're still struggling in what grade? 8. 8 as well as 6. All right? Okay? So it's a trend. I also would like to say that some of it, not all of it, but some of it is due to our children during the COVID era there, where some of our children were not face-to-face. So we have to take that into account. That's why we have iReady for Personalized Learning Path. And this is for reading. All right, so I did it. So that's for reading, okay? So you'll see that we are doing better in reading than we are doing where? In mathematics. Okay, all right. So parents, like I said, tell your neighbor, your friend, your brother, sister, and everybody else that your students need to work, our students need to work on iReady on their personalized learning path, okay? And this is just for grades K-8. That's why we did the other performance on the benchmark, because that's K-12. So also, if we did a stretch growth, that's what we're recognizing tonight. Stretch growth. These are children who have gone above and beyond where they were to be able to perform. So they reached beyond the brink, I like to call it. And they did better than they were expected to do. So this tells me we're headed in the right direction, because we have a significant number of our children already at winter who have met their stretch growth. Parents, they can't go back. You got to keep pushing them forward so we can get where we need to be. Okay? And children, you can't go back. So you got to keep working on your personalized learning path and keep working on all of that work you have in your classroom and listening to your instructor. Okay? All right. And this is mathematics. While we're struggling in mathematics, I'm still very proud that we are doing well. 6th grade is struggling, and what grade? 8. All right? They're struggling a bit. where we are, and this is our prediction so far for our test. Now, we have a few weeks to go. We don't test until May. So we're continuing to work to make sure that we get where we need to be. Dr. Miller's going to come and wrap up.
Good evening again, everyone. As Dr. Cave and Ms. Patterson has expressed, we need your assistance, but these are some things that we are currently working on to address the areas of deficiency. We are looking at our data and we are providing intentional professional development for teachers, instructional coaches, and all administrators. That is internal as well as external professional development. We have been doing our accountability and progress monitoring meetings where we're meeting with our principals and assistant principals and other individuals within the school building to kind of keep check and keep a pulse on what's going on and see how we can continue to address those areas. Data meetings that are held every Monday at each of the schools where based on those classroom assessments that are being conducted in the classrooms, teachers are having those data meetings and ensuring what we do next with the data and in our classrooms. Of course, regular teacher observations and providing feedback. Teachers cannot get any better unless we are providing robust feedback to make sure that they are increasing that instruction, the delivery of that instruction. As Ms. Patterson spoke of, we are seeing some improvement in our Algebra 1. Our students, based on that collaborative we've been doing, we've actually seen the morale of students. We've seen them change in terms of just how they look at their Algebra 1 class now. So we believe that that's working because we believe that if we incentivize and then we are consistent with making sure that when they meet those markers, we are being consistent and we're following through, they're realizing we're doing it and they're working really, really hard. So we really appreciate that. And then after school programming at each of our schools as well as homework assistance. We're doing many more, but these are some things that we wanted to highlight this evening. Thank you.
Much for listening to our mid-year data review. We'll continue to strive forward and make as much progress as we can. Our children are doing really good and our teachers are working really hard. Okay? Now we'll have financial audit.
Good evening. At this time, Mrs. Angela Grant will come with the financial report. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. What I'm going to go over is the
Almost there, children. We're almost there. Almost there.
financial report through the end of January 2024. I've already given the board members a packet that included an Excel spreadsheet showing the total. I'm sorry, I thought I was close enough. So for the month of through the month of January 2024, total expenditures $7,671,135. Total revenues received $6,901,057. I always forget to do this. Total revenues received $6,901,057. Total expenditures $7,671,135, which is a deficit of $770,078. And this is due to not receiving all of our tax revenues. Taxes just start, I think everybody started paying their taxes around January, February. So we just received a large payment in January, and in February we should see this kind of level off as far as the deficit. But this is normal, so I don't want anybody to panic. So as the revenues come in, we'll record them as such, and I'll have a report for you next month. Board members, do you have any questions on the revenues and expenditures through January? If none, thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. We now have our superintendent's report, employees recognition, superintendent student of the month, and mid-year performance recognition.
All right, so this is the time we've all been waiting for. That's why all of you are here. And you know, I like to give away money, give away lots of gift cards and recognize our students. So we'll call them up, and some students are going to receive a couple of gift cards based upon their performance. So we're going to start with our teacher recognitions first. So our support person of the month is Miss Maybell Michael. Miss Michael here. Our teacher of the month for Allen Fairfax Elementary School is Mr. Willie Johnson. Our teacher of the month So, our teacher of the month from the middle school, we were working on doing the last name, but we call him Mr. Trust. So that's our teacher of the month from the high school is Miss Shirley Jennings. All right, our custodian of the month is Mr. Anthony Lofton. And our bus driver of the month is Miss Diane Cohen. Now we'll do our student of the month for the elementary school. And we start with Jasmine Penn. And then we have London Outing. And Chaston Hammonds. Did I pronounce it right? Did I say your name right? Chancellor? Hammond, right. Congratulations. And then we have Chloe Summers. Is Chloe here?
Yes, she's coming.
Oh, yes, Chloe.
Chloe.
Chloe loves pictures. All right, our student of the month for the middle school is Patience Tyler. And then we we have Caitlin Oris. All right, congratulations, Caitlin. Congratulations. And then Fernanda Carrillo. Fernanda here? Okay, all right. And high school student of the month, Markiana Montgomery. Fatima Cervantes. And Zion Jones. So now we're going to recognize the stretch growth. Remember I showed you that on the board? Okay. So stretch growth means that this child or these children went above and beyond, and we really should commend them. So I'm going to try to make sure I pronounce all the names right. All right, and this is kindergarten through fifth. Is this Jack Xavier Sanders? Not here, okay. Raven Patterson, Raven Patterson. Oh, come on down, Raven. Come on down, Raven. Oh, you got this. Yeah, you got this. Congratulations. Take that picture. It's all right. Yeah, all right. Bella Daniels. And, oh, hey, Bella. How you doing? Adrian Anderson. Oh, she's on the way. Yeah, that's right. Outstanding. Jaden Forrester. Avani Forrester. Did you? You raised your hands like it was her. Nova Penn. Kirsten Williams. Kamaya Rouse. Kamaya Rouse. Kylan Ferguson. Jashay Brunson. Grace Wood. Rodney Riggins. Montana Robinson. Damani Pryor. And Zachariah Hunt. We'll make sure that they receive their awards. Emma Peralta. Peyton Ward. Congratulations. Denaria Elmore. Latrell Wood. Journey Anderson. Christian Housing. And Caitlin Tinsley Hay. Caden Smokes. Lalonly Gentile. Elon. Oh, look at him. Carson Patterson. I'm not sure whether this is Zariah Buckman. Kyle Harney. Amar Dupree. Noah Taylor. Caleb Harley. Paxton Chisholm. All of these students are getting $25 gift cards. Parents is theirs now, okay? Lila Anderson. Demarion Rodriguez Polito. Catherine Skillings. Get that picture out there. All right. Catherine Skillings. And then Randy Creek. All right, this is the last of the elementary. Jonathan Odom. Miss Creek. Raylan Creek.
Now, Raina Benjamin.
She just heard. Oh, she just called. I just called her. Rainy Creek. Congratulations, sweetie.
Gotta give her a name.
Jonathan Odom. Sincere Allen. Grayson Deloach. Henry Skillings. Dahari Crumley. Christina Harney. Chandler Maynard. Congratulations. And then Chandler Maynard. And Timothy Gibbs. All right. Uh-oh. Gibbs. Timothy. Congratulations. London Bennett, middle school. Savon Payne. Landra Montgomery. Dakeem Harden. Randy Audi. Now, some of the children are getting two. You're hearing their names more than once. That's to be commended. Dakeem, congratulations.
Hold your sheet up like me. Good job, guys.
Randy Audi. All right, Randy Audi. Chandler Maynard and Dominique Harley. All right, Dominique. Congratulations. Nyla Brooks. Cornell Gill. Alexis Graham. Jeremiah Thames. All right, Jeremiah. That's the way to go. Shamar Hankerson. Come on, Shamar, come on down. Jamal Aiken. Diamond Robinson. Tyler White. Sean Rivers. Damarion Garvin. Xander Priester. And Jakari Williams.
Right here. I got it.
Okay. All right. Travion Cartledge. Janiyah Wall. All right, Janiyah Wall. Stephon Brunson. Damian Creek. Payson Crabs. Congratulations, everyone. McKaylin Harney. Davion Rivers. So this is the Algebra 1 that you've been hearing so much about. Kayshawn Seabrook. This is their stretch book. Marlasia Priester. Trainaris Nickens. Bryson Washington. Nevada Carilla. Congratulations, great job. Nevada Carilla. Caleb Garnier. Michaela Marshall. Marlon Creech. Malachi Fay. Marlon Creech. Malachi Frederick. Anaya Allen. Angel Green. Dion Bell. And Janari Vincent. And Kayshawn Doe. Danita Grant. She said, all right, let's see what's next. All right. All right, so this is for benchmark. Everyone who made a C or better. Okay? Now, some students, when you get your scholars, you may have two cards because I gave you a gift card for making your midpoint in ELA and in your reading or math, or whichever benchmark it was. Okay? So Zyquez Love has two areas. areas. Colton Branch, Memphis Robinson, all right, Memphis. Memphis, right? Yes. All right. 2 areas, outstanding. Here we go with 2 more areas. Leisha Bryant, Zyron Love, Nevaeh Gibbs, Lauren Grant, Jordan Davis, Denarian Smith, Jordan, Janarian Smith, outstanding, congratulations. Carter Patterson, Gage Air, Kylie Cohen, Kamarion Dunbar, Cameron Dunbar, Cameron Dunbar, Kate Gill, Thomas Lewis, Zakari Thomas, Nylisha Bryant, Nylisha Lee Bryant. Congratulations. Aiden Shane Chin. Is Aiden out there? Jason Brown. Cameron Sanders. Brooklyn Badger. Armani Brodus. Janae Cunningham. Tyron Doe. All right, Janae Tyron Doe. Erwin Ford. Kinsley Frazier. Johanna Sanders. Jada Sanders. Kevin Tinsley Hay. And Brooklyn Hoover. Tyquez Breland. Skylar Moore. Jamarian Joseph. These are 2 areas. Some of these children are 2 areas. Jamarian Joseph, very good, congratulations. Braylon Thomas, very good. Remember Braylon, you did the pledge. Come on. Ayana Anderson. London Gibbs. Cameron Eaton. And Layla Robinson. We're getting there. We're saving the really high achievers for the end, okay? Camilla Williams, Alicia Moultrie, these are also two area students. Alicia Moultrie, Seth Eaton, Janae Grayson, Kai Gunn, Kirsten Takaya, Kirsten DeGraw. Congratulations. Landon Williams, Alana Butler, and Shariah Young. And Alasia Moultrie. I called Seth. I called Seth Landon. Layton. Reagan Scott. Terrence Green Coleman. That you coming, Terrence? All right. Jeremiah Early. Jeremiah. Congratulations, Jeremiah. Caitlin Orisu. All right, I'll get it right. Essa Smoke. Jakayla Atkinson, Haley Bowers, Destiny Grayson, Akira Jenkins, Destiny. Congratulations. Akira Jenkins, Corey Housie, Aiden Isham, and Lucy Krebs. And I think Lucy, right. We're getting there. This is great that we have this many children recognized. Hunter Johnson. In high school. Janara Breland. Siobhan Eady. Santos. Siobhan. Outstanding. Congratulations. Santos Milan. Makai Priester. And Kenovia Hayward. Still high school. I don't know how to pronounce this right. I know the last name is Patel. Is it Preet Patel? Shadonna Badger. Kaheem Glover. Keegan. Okay. Keegan. His mother will eat me up. Keegan. Congratulations. Yeah, Jakari Johnson. Kateria Bennett. Kayla Isham. Kavana Jackson. Kayla. Congratulations, Kayla. I know that. Kavana Jackson, did I call her? Him. Gabrielle Patterson. Kaden Wesley. Kiara Aiken. And Seth Taylor. All right. Just getting there with high school. Congratulations. Jalen Outing. Xavier Brandt. Xavier Brandt. Antonia Jones. Ayana Jenkins. Ayana. Rebecca Power. Zakoya Eady. Samora Smoke. Deliana Taylor Maynard. Carryon Brown. Zion Williams. Lamont Winfield. And Olivia Morrell. Cassandra Carella. Jada Duncan. Is that you, Jada? Amaya Badger. Samaya Bain. Samaya Bain. Erica Bradley. Leroy Davis. Zamal Ellison. Jerawana Elmore. Amisha Grayson. McCalani Harney. Peyton Harris. Anthony Johnson. Amisha. Anthony Johnson and Kylie Lofton. Mariah Lucas. LaQuavion Myers. Myers, LaQuavion Myers. Mariah Rose. Markayla Roberts. Nevaeh Shiggs. Caseyana Williams. And Naisha Newton. Dupree and Imani Holmes. Now, if you have two areas, I think you got $50, and these children are getting $75 because they made it in 3 areas. Caitlin Harney. All right. Congratulations. Dektrum Smokes. And Jordan Triplett. Congratulations. Outstanding. And we skipped over these by mistake. We apologize. We had so many. We had over 290 some, right? 291 children to recognize. Armani Dupree. Amani Holmes. Yadira Corella. Sophia Milan. You knew your name was going to be called, right? Yes, ma'am. All right. Corinne Bryant. Valerie Flores. They have 2 areas. And this is Michaela Harney. Again. Right. Andrew Houghton. All right, Andrew, 3 areas. ELA, Math, and Science. Case and Crab. Amani Dupree. Amani Holmes. I called all of these. All right. That is? All right. Last step. Almost? Almost. All right. Raquel Garcia Cruz. Dana Ibram. Drop some money right now. Drop some money. Oh, she's playing with it. Okay. Dana Ibram. Danae, thank you. Jace Creech. China Fields. China here? All right, China. Kalani Gentile. Gentle. Divine Grayson. Jasmine Penn. 2 area, I think it's a 2 area children. Amari Walker. And Mariah Houses. All right, so there were some children, because we did a lot, there were some children who did a perfect score. They've already received their certificate, but I will acknowledge them on the website just to make sure that their names are individual, because you have to recognize children who made perfect scores. And if I can get to my notebook, I'll call those perfect scores. Okay. And these are the teachers. So it gives me an honor to be able to recognize teachers for their work. Simone Roper Jackson. Had 100% of her class in performance in ELA. Congratulations. Tamika Tinsley. English 2. This class did 91 to 96%. All of them met their goal. And then we have Arlene Cease, who's out, but she had 100% in 6th grade yellow. Layla, are you here? Layla Robinson. Hopefully we didn't miss anyone. Did we miss anybody still sitting here? I missed you.
High school.
If we missed you, you got a letter to come, right? Okay. I thank you so very much. Did we miss anybody else? I missed you in the back. Who's that raising in the back? On the street. Thank you so very much for coming.
You got double.
We'll take a little break. Are you?